We always hear na masamang magkautang, and many would even say that your priority is to get out of debt fast. But when it comes to real estate investing, it's the other way around. Let's find out why not paying off your real estate loans early can get you on the fast track to your financial goal. I'm Edric Maguan, and this is The Real Deal. We are often given advice na iwasan mo ang utang or bayaran mo ito agad. This may be true, but not all the time, especially when it comes to real estate investing. Because not all debts are the same. There are bad debts and there are good debts. There are actually three underlying principles behind the difference between bad debts and good debts. The first one is the consumer mindset versus the investor mindset. With the consumer mindset, bad debts are incurred when you borrow money to buy things that quickly depreciate over time and things that don't generate income or gains in return. One example is having a massive credit card debt, incurred by buying expensive gadgets and luxury travels that you otherwise couldn't afford with your monthly paycheck alone. In other words, this is living beyond one's means. Getting out of bad debts is certainly the right thing to do. In this case, the consumer asks, how can I fully pay off my debt as soon as possible? But this story is completely different when you're viewing it with an investor mindset. Investors incur debt, or should I say good debt, to borrow money with the intent of growing wealth, building an investment portfolio, and generating income. This strategy is called leveraging. In other words, this is about multiplying one's means. For example, getting home loans to acquire real estate investments that can generate capital appreciation and rental income that are significantly more than the interest. In this case, the investor asks, how can I safely maximize the use of my money to obtain the biggest gains? Let's say, for example, you figured that you need a total of 4 properties to achieve the level of passive income that will allow you to live comfortably without having to work full-time. When you're just starting to build your asset base or your real estate portfolio, there are 2 general paths to get to your goal. And this could be the difference between achieving financial freedom early or still trying to get there at your retirement age. One way is you invest all your money into one property and work several years to pay off the home loan first. Once that's paid off, invest in another property and then repeat. This can take you decades. Another way is you use your money and home loans to invest into several properties without fully paying off any of the loans. This way, all the properties can all grow in value at the same time and provide you multiple sources of rental income. At this point, some of you may think, how can I enjoy 100% of the benefits if I don't have 100% ownership of each of the properties? This brings me to the second underlying principle, which is ownership versus control. The difference between the two can be best explained using an example. Let's say you have 6 million pesos to invest. You can buy one property in cash worth 6 million, giving you 100% ownership and control. Or you can buy 4 identical properties worth 6 million each and pay only 1.5 million for each property, giving you 25% ownership of each. But you would then have 100% control on all 4 properties. 100% control means you get to enjoy and decide how to maximize the benefits of the property, both in terms of capital appreciation and rental income. If you put all your money into one property and this property appreciates by 1 million, you gain 1 million. But if you spread out your money across 4 properties, you would have a total capital appreciation of 4 million. But what about rental income? The same principle applies. For example, you own 100% of one property that gives you cash flow of 20,000 per month since you have no monthly loan amortization. With the 4 properties under mortgage, you may get a cash flow of 5,000 per property. At this point, parang pareho lang. But remember, rental rates tend to increase over time. Let's say after some time, the rental rates increased by 2,500 pesos per property. Your total rental income with one property would increase by 2,500 pesos, while with 4 properties, it would increase by 10,000. This means that you start to earn 7,500 more every month, and the difference will only grow as rental rates continue to rise. So when you use home loans or mortgages as leverage, that is, you are earning more than the cost of the loan, you are accelerating the growth of your wealth in two ways. To know how much leverage you can safely take, check out my other video. Although some may still think that leveraging is a big risk, much like gambling. But there's a huge difference between gambling and investing. Gambling has a big element of luck involved, which you cannot control. Sa gambling, pwedeng matalo ka dahil sa isang maling baraha. Remember that when you invest in real estate, you control how and where to invest your money. This will mitigate the risks you may experience. The good thing about real estate is most of the risks you decide to take are not risks outside your control. Of course, the biggest fear of property owners is getting their properties foreclosed or selling at a loss. One way to mitigate this risk is to simply practice personal finance discipline. One thing I always talk about is the important role of the emergency fund. Marami nakakalimutan ang purpose nito. Some may even use the emergency fund because they may have overspent for the month. But when you invest in real estate, you should never use this fund, unless your income is affected or there is an actual emergency. So, as a rule of thumb, always keep at least 3 to 6 months worth of your income as an emergency fund to give you enough time to adjust in case of any unforeseen circumstances. You must also manage your cash flow effectively. This is very simple in concept. As long as you live well below your means, you have more to invest. There's nothing wrong with giving yourself a very nice treat once in a while. The more important thing is you only spend on things that are truly essential to you. Not just short term, but more importantly, long term. You don't want to regret buying things that you really don't need. Mindfulness is the key. Just by doing these two things alone, you are protecting yourself from the worst case scenarios. The second way to mitigate risk is to invest in properties with good fundamentals. Where you decide to invest is something you have 100% control over. Much like any investment, you don't jump into putting your money into an asset without understanding its fundamentals. If you don't understand what and where you are investing in, you may choose a property that won't give you much financial benefit. In real estate, when you start out investing in the right location, you will see how the value of the property exponentially grows, and even the rental rate rises, while your costs pretty much remain the same. Remember, cheaper doesn't mean better. Investing in properties with strong fundamentals, such as ones near and around various ongoing and planned infrastructure, office, and commercial developments will give you the most value. If you want to know which developments have high growth potential, schedule a free consultation with me or message me via the link in the description. Another risk many are afraid of is being illiquid. Marami nag-iisip na once you put money into your real estate investment, yun na yun, stuck na yung cash mo doon until you sell it. But one, you have cash flow from rent. In addition, real estate is one of the best assets you can borrow against to get cash to invest in more assets because they offer some of the lowest interest rates. So in reality, you can get more cash without selling, even if your property is still under mortgage. This is called unlocking your equity. For example, you bought a property worth 6 million a few years ago with a loan balance of 4 million. Today, the assessed value of the property has increased to 8 million. This means that with the current value, you can loan up to 6.4 million. The difference between 6.4 million and your existing loan of 4 million, which is equivalent to 2.4 million, can be borrowed. Only use this if you plan to put that cash into another investment or only in the most dire financial situations. Unlocking your equity is a great benefit if you use it wisely. Investing early and focusing on growing your asset base will give you so many advantages later on. Not paying off loans early and maximizing leverage works best when you're still trying to build your real estate portfolio. But once you reach your goal, you can start focusing on paying off your loans one by one. This is called the maintenance phase of real estate investing. You know that by paying off all your loans, you get enough passive income to live comfortably without a full-time job, or to retire early, or to pursue your true purpose without having to worry about money. And that's financial freedom for you. You get to choose how you want to live your life. Thank you for watching. If you want to inquire about the pre-selling developments that I offer, you may get sample computations or sign up for a free consultation by visiting my website or by messaging me on my social media. I'm an accredited broker of the country's most trusted developers. And if you want to learn more about real estate investing, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other video. Let's get rich and financially free, one property at a time.